This is the Bull Session, a weekly recap of your 2025 Philadelphia Phillies. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Team Toyota, BCWSA, Fogo de Show, Penn Community Bank, Chickies and Pete's, and the Capitol Grill Center City. Now, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazier, and Mickey Morandini.
All right, sitting in for John Brazier, who's a little bit under the weather. Yours truly, Chris Ermer, alongside Mr. Unassisted Triple Play, Mickey Morandini, a gold medalist for the USA at the Seoul Korea Games, and our special guest, Terry Harmon. Awesome to talk a little Phillies baseball with two big leaguers. Guys, welcome on in, and you got the post-game shows and the pre-game shows, but today on Labor Day we have the very unusual mid-game show.
Mid-game, yes.
Because the Phillies right now just jumped in front of the Brewers, and it's a big series for this team. Brewers right now the best team in baseball with 85 wins coming into this series, and the Phillies were down early. Terry, you made a comment before we got started, just how you feel like this team, you can't count them out in any game, no matter the score.
As a fan now, I think that they're in every game with the lineup they've got and the hitters that they've got. If they're functioning on all cylinders, they're in every game, and so the game's never over. And the pitching, certainly the influx of Duran, I think gave everybody a shot in the arm.
No question.
Now you got somebody you can go to that you can depend on. Now he had some bumps in the road too, and that's going to happen. But at least you know here's a guy that's going to throw strikes, and he's probably going to get them out most of the time.
Well, we have a lot to talk to, lot to talk about when it comes to Phillies baseball tonight, including some recent acquisitions. Walker Buehler now added to the Philadelphia Phillies. As we chop it up with Mickey Morandini, mentioned Mr. Unassisted Triple Play, the author of one of 15 unassisted triple plays ever in Major League Baseball, picked up a gold medal in Seoul, Korea, and an NL All-Star.
Yeah.
Was that 96?
95.
In 95. And joining us, special guest Terry Harmon, who was drafted by the Phillies in the 65 draft and helped the Phillies win division titles in 76 and 77. But all our attention is on this current Phillies team and what's going on. Looking forward to a big run. Right now, the Phillies are the 2 seed when it comes to the playoffs. And if things wrapped up today, they would be facing the winner of the Dodgers-Mets series. Mickey, what do you think playoff expectations for this team? I mean, they got to be sky-high expectations for this bunch, World Series or bust.
Absolutely. World Series or bust. It's a shame that we lost Wheeler. But, this starting pitching is good enough to win a championship. We just need Aaron Nola to be Aaron Nola, and then, everything else will fall into place. But we're gonna have to be able to score some runs in the playoff. That's what really been our Achilles heel, is we haven't been able to score runs in the playoffs. Our hitting, we haven't hit home runs in the playoff. We haven't scored runs, and we've had a couple early exits. So it's going to depend on this offense, and we know how streaky they can be. But today was a beautiful thing. They're down 5-1 and come back with 5 runs and take the lead in a place it's really hard to play up in Milwaukee. They're playing good baseball, so that's good to see.
Yeah, disappointing news when it comes to Zach Wheeler as far as this season is concerned, Terry. But it sounds like things went well when it came to his medical procedure, which is really good news. And from what I've heard reported, it looks like he is likely going to be able to return to Major League Baseball. And all of that stuff is extremely good when after that initial diagnosis and all the concern that's around. That's some real stuff.
I guess time will tell for sure. But you're just hoping he can come back and be the pitcher he was before all this happened. It certainly makes a different picture for a guy like Suarez, who was basically going to kind of be out because he's going to be a free agent. Right. You didn't think they were going to want to pay him the money he's probably going to get, but now they may be forced to do that, not knowing what's going to happen with Wheeler. And you're probably not going to know until spring training next year.
Right.
But at least it was good to hear that everything went well
exactly.
that initial procedure, and hopefully he will be back on the mound as soon as possible in a Phillies uniform, if possible. And as you said, we'll see how everything transpires, and just fingers crossed. And most important thing is that he returns to full health and puts this behind him.
Well, he's certainly fun to watch, and he keeps them in every game he pitches. So that's something that's wonderful.
All right, history made by the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber this week with 4 home runs in a game. And Terry, you played on the 76 team, which included one guy, Michael Schmidt, who also pulled off that feat, 4 home runs in a single game. Do you remember what his response to that was?
Mike was a pretty kind of laid-back guy. You didn't know whether he went 0 for 4 or 4 for 4. So, I mean, I'm sure inside he was flying. And when he got back to the hotel, there was probably several people he gave a jingle to, or he got jingled from them. But during the game, you really couldn't tell.
All right, one of the reporters asked Kyle Schwarber to put these feats in order, and he kind of dismissed the question. But I want you guys to put these feats in order, rank them if you will. A 50 home run season, which Kyle Schwarber is on the precipice of, a 4 home run game, or what Kyle Schwarber did in the All-Star game this year with the swing-off, winning the All-Star game for the National League. Kind of set that way. That's probably number 3.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably a far number 3 for me. I mean,
a distant third.
I think it's hard to say because hitting 50 home runs means you've been pretty consistent the whole year. That's a big accomplishment, but there's only been 21 people to hit 4 home runs in a game in the history of the game, which is remarkable. So I guess I would put the 4 home run game first and then the 50 second, but it's really close.
Yeah, I'd go the other way.
Yeah, I'm with you, Terry. I think the 50 home run season, consistency, like you were saying, Mickey.
And who knows how many over 50 it might be.
Yeah.
With him. You just never know.
I mean, now every at-bat is must-see for Kyle Schwarber and all the Phillies fans out there. And he had an opportunity to hit a 5th home run against a position player. What do you think was going through his mind as he stepped up to the plate with an opportunity to do something no one has ever done before, and a golden opportunity because you're batting against somebody who is not usually on the mound?
Yeah, I would say he would rather hit off a pitcher, number 1, because the infielder, I believe, was just lobbing it in there, which is almost it's the hardest thing to do is hit slow. So he was probably going up there saying, wait back, don't jump with the ball. And he still didn't, and then he popped it up.
That's exactly right.
With all of the changes that Commissioner Rob Manfred has made, I think one little tweak I would add might be to say that the position players shouldn't be on the mound. And I feel like that's kind of a part of modern baseball. Years ago, you rarely saw a position player ever take the mound in a Major League Baseball game. And now I feel like teams they're willing to throw that game away. They feel like they don't care about being competitive, and so they'll just throw anybody out there. And I don't know. I feel like that would be a small little rules tweak, which I think would benefit the fans. Like, it's the fans who get cheated when you get a third baseman out there on the mound, and you paid your ticket price.
I guess the fortunate thing about that is it doesn't happen very often. I mean, maybe a little more often not today than before, but 2 or 3 times a year at most, if it happens.
But we did this rule with the runner on second base in extra innings to eliminate having to bring in a position player and to shorten the games and not ruin your bullpen. So I kind of agree with you. Let's eliminate the position players throwing. If your guys can't get our guys out, too bad. You got to use your pitchers.
Talking about that, what you just said, though, about starting out with the guy in second base extra inning games. How often do you see that they don't get the guy over?
Oh, never.
Never.
They don't even try.
Exactly. Now, is that wrong? Is that wrong in today's game? I mean, I know you're looking for the blast, but I remember Tim McCarver saying at St. Louis when he said Lou Brock get on first, Lou Brock would steal second, guy'd bunt him over to third. At the end of the first inning, it's 1-0.
Right.
So now the other guy's got to dig out. And the other thing is today's game is let's make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches. Well, wait a minute. How about if we score 3 runs in the first inning? Now he's going to have just as big a chance of being out as getting to a high pitch count.
Right.
I think we take way too many pitches myself.
Oh, I agree, and the bullpens are so specialized now. I mean, it used to be you wanted to get into the bullpen. Now it seems like you want that starter to stay in there.
Yeah.
So it's just a different game and a different way of thinking.
It is a different game, and sometimes it's hard to explain where the evolution comes from or how we got to where we're at right now. You know, looking back, you guys both played at veteran stadiums, but at different times in that building's history. And when you were there, Terry, it was state of the art. It was a brand new, awesome stadium that you could play football and baseball in, and everybody was going for that multi-purpose look, and you had the turf and everything. It really, I mean, take us back to those days, like '76 when they had the bicentennial. There was a real vibe down there.
People still ask, you know, what did you think about Veterans Stadium? I said, I thought it was magnificent. I mean, what you just said is exactly right. It was state of the art. Now, by today's standards, it's probably, you know, poor because the stadium, everybody said the turf was too hard, this and that and the other thing, and they've improved that over the years, certainly.
I mean, even you look back at how the concourses were, and you went out to get a beverage and you couldn't see the game. Citizens Bank Park is awesome with all the sight lines and everything, but Veterans Stadium was really a great place to go see a ball game.
Absolutely.
People would go there just to see what the guy walking on the high wire, the Walendas. And
Absolutely, no question about it.
I mean, do you remember those promos that Bill Giles put together?
Oh, sure. Giles, he was a star in those days.
He would have a high wire guy walking across Veterans Stadium. That is wild. So when you're at Veterans Stadium, nobody is thinking this is state of the art anymore. In '93, right?
Everybody thought it was awful, right?
Yeah, I mean, a very different attitude and feel to that ballpark, but it was your home.
Yeah,
so
we hadn't gotten to the point where everybody was building new ballparks yet. You know, Pittsburgh had it, Cincinnati had it. I think Kansas City might have had a field like that. A couple other places. We had the Astrodome, and Montreal we had a dome. So, but yeah, it was conducive. I loved that because it was conducive to how I played with a lot of ground balls, a lot of line drives. It really helped my career because I didn't have to hit that ball through that slow grass at Wrigley Field and things like that. But I mean, you look at the ball. I didn't get to play in Citizens Bank Park, which is one thing I'm really bummed about. But you look at the parks today that are being built; they're just in these football stadiums. I mean, it's just incredible.
Well, how about all these moves that the Phillies are making right now as we make a run to the postseason and possibly to the World Series, bringing in Walker Buehler. Of course, Duran, we mentioned him a little bit earlier ago. Harrison Bader was a late season acquisition. Robertson. Really feels like Dombrowski has loaded the cupboard. Do you feel like, Terry, that puts a little more pressure on Topper, kind of puts him on the hot seat a little bit?
One thing I love about Topper gets players. He uses them. You know, he brought the kid, the left-hander they got. He's in pitching. He was in pitching today already. And anybody they bring up, he tries to get them in there. And I think that does two things for your team. One, your starters are never going to say, I'm tired, I'm hurt, I'm sore, I need a day off. They're never going to say that.
You don't want to lose that spot.
So a manager's got to take the initiative to say, hey, you're taking a day off today and Joe's playing or whoever's playing. And it does two things. One, it gives that guy a blow, the regular. And two, it gives the extra guy a chance to get 4 at-bats and have an idea of what he's trying to do. Well, back when I played, Danny Ozark was a manager, and Danny was a believer in if the 8 guys could go out there, they go out there. One year I think in the National League there was four guys that played 162 games. One was Pete Rose in Cincinnati, and it was Schmidt, Boa, and Cash.
Wow.
All played 162 games.
Yeah.
And then you get to October, these guys are out of gas. I don't care what anybody says. And for the guys that are behind them, they haven't been in a game. You can take as many ground balls as you want, take as much BP as you want. It's not the same as being in a game.
Right. But once again, that game has changed because you had your 8 starters, like you said, and then you had designated pinch hitters like Del Unsler or Greg Gross, and that's all they did, I believe,
pretty
for
much.
the most part.
Pretty much.
Now you have guys, and they probably played one position, Now you have guys, they want you to play second and the outfield and third base and move all around, and you didn't have that really back in the day.
That's very true.
Yeah. So
it's amazing to me, some of the guys. I love this kid that came up, Otto
Kemp.
Yeah,
Otto Kemp.
Yeah.
He came up and I thought he did a real nice job,
No
and they
question.
threw him everywhere.
Yeah.
And he did okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Versatility is
Yeah.
an important part of modern day baseball for sure. And Terry, you bring up a hot topic that we'll get to. Going to step aside here briefly, but talking about guys being asked to sit down. Nick Castellanos has had some controversial things to say, and want to compare the experience maybe that guys would have in 93, 76 if they were asked to sit down, and what the attitude was like on that 93 team, and what the attitude was like with the Phillies in the 1970s when they were asked to take a little bit of a breather. When we get back to the Bull Session here from Chickies and Pete's in Bordentown, presented by BCWSA, Chris Ermer with Mickey Morandini and Terry Harmon, back in just a bit.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Come and enjoy one of your seasonal favorites from our new Summer of Shellfish menu, including our flavorful garlic and herb, roasted shrimp and lobster, tasty crabby tuna and poke tacos, or our incredible seafood boil featuring crab legs, scrumptious shrimp, clams, mussels, and more. And try one of our delicious seasonal cocktails with your meal. The Summer of Shellfish, only at Chickies and Pete's.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
If you're looking for a stylish and sophisticated fine dining experience, visit your Eddie V's Prime Seafood restaurant near King of Prussia. Eddie V's Seafood features an abundant selection of fine wines and curated cocktails to complement exquisite steaks and seafood made from the highest quality ingredients. In the V Lounge, sip on imaginative handcrafted cocktails with attitude while enjoying signature appetizers. Conveniently located between I-276 and I-76 near the King of Prussia Mall. Call them today, 610-337-7823 to schedule your night out for Eddie V's Prime Seafood.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
Think banking hasn't changed? Think again. At Penn Community Bank, we've been helping communities thrive for 150 years. From our nationally recognized Access Checking that offers the peace of mind of no overdrafts, to student and free checking plus options with perks that will make you wonder what you did without them, like early direct deposit, overdraft grace, and Zelle. Learn more at PennCommunityBank.com/products. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Bull Session. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games John Brazier, and Mickey Morandini.
Session presented by BCWSA. We're talking Phillies baseball with Mickey Morandini and Terry Harmon.
There you go, dear.
And
You're
the
welcome.
Philadelphia police might be on the lookout for Dave Dombrowski. I feel like he really pulled off a heist with this Walker Buehler thing.
I wonder where you were going with that.
Well, I mean, he didn't give up a lot, right? And the Phillies get a quality arm, a guy who's had some struggles this season, but was on the mound for the Dodgers when they won the World Series last year. I love that postseason experience that he's going to bring to this team.
He's worth taking a chance on.
Absolutely. You know, he's only 31.
And it feels like they didn't even take a chance as far as team assets or...
No, he was a free agent. They signed him to probably a minor league deal, and Boston has to pay him that contract. But he's got great playoff numbers. He was like 2-0 with an 0.46 or something. So he brings some experience and can never have enough pitching, that's for sure.
You got to have the arms.
All right, so Nick Castellanos, he likes to be out there, and a couple of times this season he's been pulled from the lineup, and there was a blow-up earlier where he got into it with Thompson. What do you think the attitude would be from the average baseball player in the 70s? I think one of the things that's changed when it comes to the game, last week on the Bull Session, our guest was Bobby Wine. And one of the things that Bobby Wine talks about and Art Mahaffey talks about is in the early days, 50s, 60s, those guys had no freedom of movement when it comes to what teams they would be on. And if the managers told them something, basically you better do it because there's somebody else who's ready to take your job. And slowly that has changed over baseball, but I'm not sure that's a good or bad thing. But Castellanos has an attitude of, seems like a very modern day player, like I want to do my thing. And, you know, Topper's like, hey, well, we're trying to do the best thing for the team.
Yeah. Personally, nobody wants to be pulled out of the game, probably. No, anybody that's played the game for a while and has established themselves is probably a little offended when that happens, unless they've really been playing really bad.
Right. And there's an element that you want your player to feel that
way.
Oh,
absolutely. Right.
So I don't fault Nick for having those feelings, but then how you handle that situation, I think he hasn't necessarily handled it in the best way as far as that relationship goes, or is that just Nick being Nick?
I think it's Nick being Nick, and I'm with Terry there. You don't want to be pulled out of a game. Your feelings are going to be hurt. You have some pride, things like that. But a couple things that lead to that is one, the amount of money these guys are making, and two, I think agents have so much power now in the game. They never used to have power in the game, and now the agents have all the power in the game. So those couple things lead to, and the media. I mean, we have so much media attention now. We didn't have that media attention back in the day. Nick might have done this 20 years ago. Nobody would have ever known about it, but there's so much media attention now. So, but I don't have a problem with it because he's got pride and he wants to play and he wants to be out there and he wants to help the team win. So,
I mean, who on the '93 team would most likely have an issue if you said, "Hey, today, you know, you're going to sit down"?
I know who in my case it would be.
Who, Schilling?
No.
Lenny?
No, Boa.
Oh, Larry. Well, Larry on your team, sure.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
He would jump out of it. You know, I can't even tell that story, but he would go crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of guys on our team that would have. Dalton would not want to have been pulled. Lenny would not want to have been pulled. Crucky would not have want to have been pulled. Dave Hollins would have been upset. So I think that's just a natural athletic thing to be upset when you get pulled or you get pinch hit for. I think getting pinch hit for is a little bit embarrassing in a sense.
Sure.
So, like I said, I don't have a problem with him being angry about that.
No, and I think it's all how the manager handles it too.
Right.
You know, if the manager maybe goes to him afterwards and, come on in, office, let's talk to me a minute.
Right.
And sits down and say, hey, listen, this is why I did it. This is why I'm, you know. And again, maybe a manager doesn't feel like he has to do that.
Right.
But I think with a veteran team like this, you're probably better off discussing it a little bit rather than just doing it and letting it fester.
mean, it feels like right now for the Phillies in the outfield, a lot of those positions are platooning, sharing time, and
you know why I think he does that? To be honest with you, that's going to make all of them better as they go down the road, and you're going to need them all if to win a World Series.
There's an element of that, though. It feels like you're going for the hot guy,
right,
and you hope you can identify that person. But that's not necessarily a strategy as much as you're just trying to get lucky and hopefully you're able to ride the right players. Is that something that concerns you? That's kind of what you guys did in '93. A lot of those positions were shared and platooned, and it worked out great.
Yeah, you're going with the hot hand. And, Kepler, as bad as he's been this year, he's got 15 home runs, and he's swinging the bat better now. And Marsh has swung the bat really well in the second half,
Yep.
and now Bader's coming on, and he's swinging the bat well. So when you get this late in the season, you want to go with the hot hand. Obviously, those three play better defense than Nick. So he's just really going to – and like I said, I agree with him, but he's really just going to have to go with the flow here. And it seems like when there's a tough right-hander on the mound, he's not going to play.
And I don't know if Rob looks at it or not, but I'm sure they've got data. There's so much data out there today that says – in this situation with this pitcher, this guy here's got the best chance.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of analytics
Oh, my God.
defensively and at the plate that
Over-analytic, probably.
Yeah, too many numbers. But when you crunch those down, there is a case to be made that there's somebody else who might be better in right field in these different situations. And like you guys say, I understand Nick's pushback on that, but we got to, we're looking for the best results and whatever. If you don't like it, so what?
And it seems like Rob. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It seems like Rob's been pretty good at that,
He's been great.
putting the right guy at the right spot. I mean, with Sosa, so many times he's been unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been great.
I've been really surprised that somebody hasn't grabbed him up as an everyday player.
Yeah. He could be second or short for sure. I think one thing with Nick also is when he first signed here, he wasn't planning on being a right fielder. That's when Harper got hurt. So I think you got to tip your cap to him because he's gone out there and he's made himself at least an average right fielder.
Adequate, very adequate.
He actually made some really good plays in important times in playoff games. So I tip my cap to him, but he's just going to have to hang with him here, and he's going to be sitting. I mean, he had a streak of at least, 200 straight games or something he had played in?
Yeah.
So that was probably a big part of the reason he was a little bit upset, too. He had a streak going.
Yeah, well, you look at this lineup, and he bring some power into the Phillies lineup, and that's certainly important. But just consistency is
That's the thing. He's really streaky.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll go 3 weeks and get 20 hits, then he'll go 3 weeks and not get hit. I mean, it's crazy.
All right, we get our mid game check-in. Still a 6-6 game.
6-6.
Phillies and the Brewers here as we're at the Chickies and Pete's in Bordentown, talking Phillies baseball for the Bull Session. Mixing it up with Mickey Morandini and Terry Harmon, and we will get right back to the show in just a moment.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Come and enjoy one of your seasonal favorites from our new Summer of Shellfish menu, including our flavorful garlic and herb, roasted shrimp and lobster, tasty crabby tuna and poke tacos, or our incredible seafood boil featuring crab legs, scrumptious shrimp, clams, mussels, and more. And try one of our delicious seasonal cocktails with your meal. The Summer of Shellfish, only at Chickies and Pete's.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, prove it.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
If you're looking for a stylish and sophisticated fine dining experience, visit your Eddie V's Prime Seafood restaurant near King of Prussia. Eddie V's Seafood features an abundant selection of fine wines and curated cocktails to complement exquisite steaks and seafood made from the highest quality ingredients. In the V Lounge, sip on imaginative handcrafted cocktails with attitude while enjoying signature appetizers. Conveniently located between I-276 and I-76 near the King of Prussia Mall. Call them today, 610-337-7823 to schedule your night out for Eddie V's Prime Seafood.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
Think banking hasn't changed? Think again. At Penn Community Bank, we've been helping communities thrive for 150 years. From our nationally recognized Access Checking that offers the peace of mind of no overdrafts, to student and free checking plus options with perks that will make you wonder what you did without them, like early direct deposit, overdraft grace, and Zelle. Learn more at penncommunitybank.com/products. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Bull Session. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazier, and Mickey Morandini.
All right, welcome back to the Bull Session. We're here at Chickies and Pete's in Bordentown. The Bull Session presented by BCWSA. Chris Ermer in for John Brazier with Mickey Morandini and special Phillies guest Terry Harmon. And we're talking Phillies baseball while the Phillies are all even with the Milwaukee Brewers in a big game. They start a big series with the Brew Crew. And, looking to keep things going after that Braves series win. The Mets series was tough. And, do you think that that's a concern for the Phillies in the postseason, or if they get up against that Mets team again, are they going to have a revenge mindset and maybe just feast on the Mets next time they see them? I don't know if it's just because it's happened before doesn't mean it's going to happen again.
I think a lot of people put too much emphasis on one series. I really do. Come playoff time, it's you're starting from scratch. I don't care if we've lost 10 games up there in a row. I do think we'll have home field advantage on them, which will help, obviously, because we do play them a lot better at home. But they're going to go up there and they're going to want to play good baseball, and I don't think they go up there thinking they're going to lose. It's just one of those streaks where they've gone up there and they haven't played well. And, but I think we just put way too much emphasis on one series.
You're probably right.
Man, it's making that rivalry real spicy right now, that's for sure. And in '93, I felt like the real spicy Phillies rivalry was you guys and the Braves in the division. And back in the '70s, what were the big rivals that you guys had? I mean, when
Pirates.
I think about that era, I think of Pittsburgh Pirates.
Say Pirates, yeah. Pirates and always the Mets, probably just because they're so close. And but the Pirates were.
Lift up your mic there a little bit.
The Pirates were, they were a juggernaut back in that day. I mean, they were number one for a lot of years, with a lot of quality players.
All right, guys, can you explain the low batting averages across the National League to me? Because this year, for the first time, I think ever. Right now, I don't think anybody is hitting above 300 in the entire National League. Coming into today, Trey Turner, I think, was at 300. Freddie Freeman was right there. Sal Frelick, who's on the Brewers, was at 296. But there is nobody over the 300 mark. And I don't know, that again is a curious example of the way baseball is played today compared to how it was played in the 90s, in the 70s.
You know better than I probably, but
I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say 1, analytics, 2, the uppercut swing, 3, nobody bunts anymore, 4, nobody hitting runs anymore, nobody plays small ball anymore. You can get a lot of hits playing small ball. Everybody wants to hit home runs, and that's what people care about, driving the ball. They say batting average and RBIs aren't as important as they used to be now. It's the OPS and driving the. I don't get it either. I've asked kids. I coach or I train kids lessons, and I've asked them several times, would you rather hit a bloop single for a base hit or line out to the second baseman? Every one of them said, I'd rather line out to the second baseman. It's amazing to me because I thought this game was about getting on base and scoring runs, but maybe it's from watching TV, maybe it's from what they hear, but maybe it's the high school that are coaching them. I don't know, but some of the craziest answers with these kids.
I mean, Terry, you brought up earlier, everybody's looking for the blast in today's baseball.
I think the other thing is that if a pitcher pitches 5 innings, that's a success story.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you get 4 other guys that are going to finish that game off. So you're facing a different pitcher.
Right.
At least probably 2 at bats, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Who knows? And that makes a difference.
Sure.
Because I think guys are much more comfortable facing, no matter how good they are. I'd rather face the really good guy, because I know what he's going to throw, and I know how he's going to try to pitch me, and I can adjust to that a little bit.
I mean, one of the other, I feel, greatest changes in baseball is the development of bullpens. Mickey, you mentioned it earlier. In the 70s, when you got done with the starter, you were facing a lesser pitcher for the most part. I mean, maybe not every time. There wasn't the specialization of the closer and the left-handed specialist guy.
And the starters back in the day, if they didn't go 7 or 8 innings, they were unhappy.
Right.
They were unhappy. So all you really needed was one guy to come in and try to finish it off.
And I think the other thing that plays a role now is interleague play. Back when we played 14 National League teams. So you saw the pitchers a lot, especially starting pitchers. Now you're playing 29 different teams, and so you're seeing so many different pitchers at different times. I think that plays a big role in batting average too.
And you're also seeing first-time pitchers.
Right.
And most established hitters would tell you, let me face the toughest pitcher in baseball that I know, rather than the guy I don't know.
All right, so can you guys explain to me how hitting as a team becomes, everybody goes up there as an individual, and yet there's something about when a team starts hitting, other guys start to get hot. When a team swings at a lot of first pitches, it seems like a lot of guys on the same team swing at the first pitch. There's a certain tone that's set along the lineup, and as somebody, I played baseball, but always fascinated by how there's a team concept within like a game that's very individual. When you're at the plate, there's nobody else up there with you.
I mean, I just think when you see other guys hitting the ball well, it takes a lot of pressure off you, so you can go up there and relax. When a lot of guys aren't hitting the ball, you kind of start to put more pressure on you to be the guy, and that's where all these team slumps, I think, come into play. But that's really the only explanation I have for why you see teams really get on a roll, and then other times that they can't score a run.
One thing that frustrates me as a watcher is a guy will work the count to 3-1 or 2-0 and take a fastball right down the middle, and you go, what could you possibly been looking for?
That's what you were waiting for.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you come out of your shoes at that one? and you're only probably going to get, when it gets these good pitchers, you're probably going to get maybe one pitch at an at-bat that you can get a whack at, and all of a sudden you just took it.
Yeah.
Now he's a nasty slider away.
Right.
Nasty slider. I don't understand it.
And the reverse thing of that is you'll see a lot of guys down 2 or 3 runs late in the game, and they always swing at the first pitch instead of trying to work a deep count and draw a walk or get some guys on base. It's, once again, the game has just completely changed, and us old timers are going to have to live with it.
I asked Smitty at the alumni weekend. I said, Smitty, what's going on with these hitters? Because I just said the same thing, taking 3-0 or 2-1 or 2-0 and 3-1. He says, I don't know what they're thinking there. He said, I just don't know. because back in the day, guys would come out of their shoes in those
absolutely.
situations.
Did you guys have any big baseball superstitions? I mean, were you?
I never touched the line.
Yeah, I never
Going to
touched the line
second base.
crossing. That one was probably one of the few.
That's pretty basic. I
I
mean,
guess,
some
yeah.
guys get real.
Oh yeah, some guys wear the same shorts, the same shirt. You have to get 4 hits. You're wearing the same stuff the next day.
I mean, if you got really hot, I think you might try and do the same routine.
Oh yeah,
But
eat the same food.
eat the same food, maybe. Yeah, but overall, I wasn't a big guy like that.
All right, as you see things start to stack up now for the postseason, Walker Buehler added to this Philadelphia Phillies team. A possible 6 pitcher rotation. Seems like that's the way they're going right now. They're going to have 6 starters: Sanchez, Suarez, Nola, Luzardo, and Walker. And now they'll add in, maybe in like a week and a half, they'll have a AAA start for Walker Buehler. Where do you see him lining up in that rotation? I mean, if you would even rank that rotation from 1 to 6, right now I can't identify a clear-cut number 1, Sanchez. But after that, I feel like there's maybe you put Ranger in there because he has some experience. But how do you see that stacking up?
If Buehler does well, you might want to break up your left-handers.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you break up. You got 3 lefties in there, so you definitely want to break up your lefties. But I think the next 25 games, I think, is what we got left, will determine. I think Sanchez is your number 1, hands down. I think the next 25 games will determine who gets game 2 and who gets game 3. Now, right now, I would think Aaron Nola would be the game 2 just because of his history, but we'll see how he's pitching down the stretch.
Congratulations to Aaron Nola on becoming the third the person on the Phillies list for the 3rd most strikeouts. I think he passed Schill in that this last one. Was that or no?
No,
passed,
Hamels. He passed
Hamels.
Cole Hamels. Yeah.
So great milestone reached for Aaron Nola,
For sure.
and hopefully he can round back into postseason form. And why not? He'd be the number 2, follow Sanchez, and then maybe Suarez,
Probably.
a lefty. But going to be interesting to see how they break that down. Any of those guys you think a fit for a bullpen role? If that's the way things broke down. I mean, in the postseason, typically you only get 3 starters for those series anyway.
Probably in a playoff situation, any of them.
Yeah, I mean, Suarez has experience back there, but you're probably only going to need him for a longer role. Like if your starter has, a rough 2 or 3 innings, you bring someone in to get you to the 6th. I don't think you need anybody in the back end of the bullpen now.
No.
We got 6 guys back that are all pretty competent.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me much if that's how things come together for Walker Buehler, that he kind of played that role for the Dodgers at times in the postseason in high leverage situations. Maybe bring him in if, again, all of that depends on how he looks in the AAA start, and he hasn't looked like he did a couple of years ago this season.
No.
So we got to.
All will be determined in the next 3 weeks.
But we've seen a lot of pitchers change uniforms, and all of a sudden something clicks.
Yeah.
So let's hope something clicks with them.
Well, I tell you what, anybody coming to the Phillies from anywhere got to feel pretty good.
Excited.
Got to feel pretty good.
Absolutely.
For now and in the future.
Yeah, and I mean, that leadership from the veteran guys, I think permeates the whole lineup and the whole team. And Kyle Schwarber is, I think, a big part of that. I was down there Saturday night, and Schwarber steps up to the plate, and the crowd erupts in MVP chants. And, when I think about the X Factor stuff, he really, I think, is one of the best players in baseball when it comes to his leadership elements that, I don't know, it seemed like the team gets behind Kyle Schwarber.
No question. He's been compared to Darren Dalton on our team. I don't know who was the leader on your team, but he seems to have a calm about him. He knows how to deal with the media. He knows how to deal with players. He's obviously well respected. He's been in the league for 11 years now, I think, and you need those guys in the locker room. And they've got so much playoff experience. I mean, they've been there the last 3 or 4 years. So that helps too when you have that kind of playoff experience with deep runs.
Yeah, who was that guy who would step up on those teams? Luzinski?
A little bit. Schmitty a little bit, although Schmitty was kind of a quiet leader. He'd play just by example. Bo would agitate. That's just Boa. He'd be in everybody's face.
Was Bob Boone there yet when you were there?
Bob Boone was there.
I would
yeah.
think he would be some sort of a leader, no?
Yeah, but everybody was not a real voicious leader.
Right.
Kind of quiet leaders.
All right, what do we got going on here with this game?
Phillies took the lead. Bader doubled.
All right, top
Darth
of the
Vader.
Phillies
Darth
in
Vader.
front. All right, well, we're going to step aside here on the Bull Session. We're coming to you from the Chickies and Pete's in Bordentown, and it's presented by BCWSA. Chris Ermer in for John Brazier, and we're back to talk Phillies baseball with Mickey Morandini and Terry Harmon in just a moment.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Come and enjoy one of your seasonal favorites from our new Summer of Shellfish menu, including our flavorful garlic and herb, roasted shrimp and lobster, tasty crabby tuna and poke tacos, or our incredible seafood boil featuring crab legs, scrumptious shrimp, clams, mussels, and more. And try one of our delicious seasonal cocktails with your meal. The Summer of Shellfish, only at Chickies and Pete's.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you. At Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
If you're looking for a stylish and sophisticated fine dining experience, visit your Eddie V's Prime Seafood restaurant near King of Prussia. Eddie V's Seafood features an abundant selection of fine wines and curated cocktails to complement exquisite steaks and seafood made from the highest quality ingredients. In the V Lounge, sip on imaginative handcrafted cocktails with attitude while enjoying signature appetizers. Conveniently located between I-276 and I-76 near the King of Prussia Mall. Call them today, 610-337-7823 to schedule your night out for Eddie V's Prime Seafood.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pantheon Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at pantheonbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
Think banking hasn't changed? Think again. At Penn Community Bank, we've been helping communities thrive for 150 years. From our nationally recognized Access Checking that offers the peace of mind of no overdrafts, to student and free checking plus options with perks that will make you wonder what you did without them, like early direct deposit, overdraft grace, and Zelle. Learn more at penncommunitybank.com/products. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Bull Session. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazier, and Mickey Morandini.
All right, right, welcome back to the Bull Session. In for John Brazier, I'm Chris Ermer. We're here at the Chickies and Pete's in Bordentown. It's presented by BCWSA as we chop up Phillies baseball. Mickey Morandini, Terry Harmon with us. Phillies getting ready for postseason play. And a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking, I'm not sure. Feels like the Phillies may have a little trouble getting into the postseason. Feeling more confident now after that Braves series and establishing a little bit more of a lead on the Mets team. Still 25 games to go, so don't want to count the chickens before they're hatched. But right now, postseason seems pretty good. Where are you guys at confidence-wise on this team getting to the tournament?
Well, I'm confident we'll be in the playoffs. I'm 100% confident. We have a pretty good schedule. We have a lot of home games left of the 25, and the Mets have a horrendous schedule. They play a lot of top-quality teams, a lot of them on the road, which they don't play very well on the road. So, I think it's going to come down to who's got that number 2 seed. Are we getting a bye, or are we playing in an opening series? We're neck and neck with the Dodgers, and we play the Dodgers here coming up in a couple weeks, so that'll be a huge series for us.
Yeah, how about you, Terry?
I think the Mets series kind of let the air out of the tire for a lot of people because they, well, here we go again. But I think they got enough. I think they're definitely going to be in the playoffs, and I think they got enough to win it myself. I mean, given the right situation. And if the big two are swinging the bat the way they should, I think the rest will come along and do the same thing.
Well, that Braves bounce back was huge for this team. And right now, with up run on the Brewers, which would be an awesome way to start this series. All right, a sign of maturity, I think, is admitting when you might be a little bit wrong. And I've been against the designated hitter, and I still feel that way. But I'm starting to waver a little bit because this DH has been very beneficial for the Philadelphia Phillies.
It is.
Not only this year with Kyle Schwarber putting together MVP numbers, but last year when Bryce was coming back, he was able to DH a bunch, so able to have another big bat in the lineup. I don't know. Still, it seems like it's not right in the National League, but now that it's here, I'm starting to embrace it because it's helped us a lot.
The nice thing about the DH is it keeps a good player who probably would not be playing if it wasn't for that DH around for a couple extra years. And a lot of times they're really good years for him because he doesn't have to go out and take the wear and tear of playing in the field.
I'm torn with the DH. I've always been a guy, I like the maneuvering of the manager. Do I hit my starting pitcher in the 6th inning? Do I bunt him? You know, that makes your bench more important. You double switches, all these different things, which were really a fun part of the game, and that's been taken away. But the pitchers got to the point where they couldn't swing the bat, and they didn't know how to bunt anymore because none of them hit in minor leagues, and they didn't hit in college. And I think it was just inevitable that we had to do it.
And to think without the DH, we wouldn't have this great run from Kyle Schwarber. And
well, he'd be playing left field.
All that he's putting together.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be having a debate about who's going to play the outfield on a certain day, that's for sure.
What's going to be interesting to see is, what is it, Kyle and Schwarber, and JT and Suarez are all free agents at the end of the year.
I don't think we can pay all three of them.
No, I don't. It's going to be tough. I love Bryson Stott. I think after his first year, I thought he could be an MVP candidate. The way he was hitting the ball and stuff, and he still shows signs.
Yeah, they just showed a thing on him the other day where his hands were really high and he was struggling. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
He has lowered his hands, and he's taken off since July 1st. So maybe it's just a tweak in his approach and the way he was set up. But he just got a huge hit here, and we're up 8-6 now.
He's almost got Schwarberger hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The alligator arms.
Yep.
I mean, this team has a lot of DH options, like you were saying with Castellanos. You say he comes to this team, probably doesn't think he's going to be in right field because he would maybe be a DH candidate.
Yep.
You got Schwarber, who they don't like to put out in left. He's a DH guy. And then I heard they may DH JT at some points if he has his day off because they brought Stubbs up.
Yep.
I should have brought my overalls to celebrate. But Garrett Stubbs up with the Phillies again as a late season call-up. They expand the roster, and that's going to allow Rob Thompson to do some different things with the lineup and maybe have JT get off his feet.
Exactly.
But still be up at the plate a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, otherwise you got to burn Marchand, and you don't want to. If you get an extra catcher, you can play around more.
Do you ever think that they would put Harper back to the
You know,
outfield?
I was just going to mention that if his arm's good enough, I don't see why not. Now, Castellanos, I believe, has one more year, so if he's not traded.
Have JT play first?
Exactly. And Bryce was an adequate outfielder. But we'll see. Well, you know, we want to sign all three for different reasons.
Yes.
But you can't obviously sign all three. It's just going to cost them too much. So I don't know. JT might be more of a priority than Schwarber just because who's going to catch? There's not very many free agent catchers out there. Marchand's not an everyday catcher. And he brings a lot of stability back there in a very important position. So we'll see what happens.
If the pitchers had a vote,
yeah,
he get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe put this in the conspiracy theory category, but anything to the fact that the moves that Dombrowski is making here at the trade deadline and close to the end of this season is a message being sent to Kyle Schwarber and these free agent guys, maybe not just Kyle, but JT, all of these guys, that we're serious, that we're going to do whatever it takes to put together a good team each and every time we're approaching the postseason, and stay with us because we have that winning brand, and I'm going to make sure it happens and make sure to bring in those pieces.
I think if you ask any of those guys that are eligible, they'd say, yeah, I want to be here. But if it's a difference of 10, 15, $20 million, I mean, then it forces you to do something else.
Yeah, unfortunately, it comes down to money nowadays, and there will be no Phillies discounts on these three guys. That's for sure.
So if you prioritize those free agents, hard not to put Schwarber right now at the top of the list, but he doesn't provide all the defense and other thing that JT does.
Yeah, but if you sign Schwarber and let the other two walk, who's your catcher? Like, who's the confidence guy back there that all your pitchers are, you know, they've been with them for a long time. They're comfortable with them. I flip a coin, really.
If you did that, you'd almost have to go out and get a veteran catcher somewhere.
Right.
All right, earlier we asked about Schwarber's accomplishments and how he would rank them. For you, Mickey, I'm wondering how you would rank your all-star appearance, winning a gold medal, and winning that NL title in '93.
I got to put gold medal up top. I mean, you win a medal for your country. That's got to
awesome
be
thing.
number one. Second, oh gosh, I got to say, turning an unassisted triple play. There's only been 15 of them, so to have my name on that list, I'm pretty proud of that. And then making the playoffs, just because that's not as much a personal thing; it's a team thing. And believe me, that was a lot of fun. And I wish we could have went to the playoffs every year because that was just so much fun in this city.
You know, back when you were playing, Terry, I don't think the Phillies had as much of a connection with the alumni guys, did they? What they do now, the alumni weekend, and how they keep this family together is a kind of special thing.
It's unbelievable. And if you talk to other players that have been on numerous teams,
right,
nobody does it like the Phillies. And if they ever get invited to the alumni weekend and the golf and stuff, if you do golf, you always put it on your calendar. When is it next year? I'm going to be there.
I mean, when those things happen, are there certain guys who you really look forward to catching up with? Maybe you haven't seen that much or you don't run into that often?
Well, for me, it's a little different because now it's a lot of guys that I don't know.
Right.
I've met.
Right.
You know, the more the modern guys. I'm the oldest guy there probably. Between me and Mahaffey and
Bobby Wine go down? Or?
Bobby Wine once in a while. His health hasn't been great. Doug Clemens.
Yeah, Doug, yeah.
Yeah, Dougie. I always tell him, I said, boy, I'm glad you guys are here because you're a little older than me.
Well, you guys can welcome these new alumni to the alumni family. And
you know what? You know what's wonderful about it? Once you're in it, everybody treats everybody
Yeah,
the same.
absolutely.
I mean, Ryan Howard came up. I'd never met Ryan Howard before. He came up, and I happened to be talking to Gene Garber, who Gene Garber's against baseball. He says, I don't watch baseball, and I don't like baseball. They change the game. So I hate it. And he started in on Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard says, Jimmy, get over here. This guy's schooling me. He was such a nice guy.
Yeah, Ryan's great.
Yeah.
Ryan's great. And you're not going to find an owner that invites his alumni over to his house for dinner either.
Oh, my God, that's
I
true.
guarantee you're not going to find that anywhere else in baseball.
Exactly.
Well, guys, thanks for hanging out here for our Bull session. Terry, thanks so much
pleasure.
for being
Thanks
our
for
guest.
having me. I appreciate it.
And we'll do it next week. We'll be back on Monday. John Brazier back in the hot seat for the Bull session presented by BCWSA. And let's go Phillies. Where are they at right now?
8-6.
Still in front,
Bottom of the
8-6.
eighth.
I'm not sure. John might be out. You're in. You're
yeah.
in.
You're in.
We
We fired him.
All right, take care, everybody. Go Phils.